and I'm Kirsty Woolley, the CEO and Director of Lunar Mind. I have put a pledge together to support children in the Derby and Derbyshire area who are at risk and vulnerable in society. I've put this pledge together and wanting donations due to my own father's adverse childhood experiences, and I thought it would be a really good opportunity to get his input into his experiences in care. So I've got my dad with me, and I think it would be really good to just know your experiences, Dad. So can you tell me what age you went into care?
11.
And how were you told that you were going to go into care?
Through the course.
Okay. And when you went into care, how many children were there?
I can't answer that one.
You can't remember?
No.
Okay.
There was various. There was quite a few.
And how many workers?
I would say 4 a shift.
And how many shifts were there a day?
2.
2. Okay, and how did the workers treat you? Because still in society there's lots of different workers that some have better connection to than others.
It varied on what sort of person you was yourself.
So what sort of person did you connect to? So did you get on with any of the workers that worked at the children's home?
Not particularly, no.
Okay. And how many children's homes were you in total in the Derby, or was it Derbyshire area as well?
Derby. 4.
4. And can you remember any of the names of those places?
Springfield, Moorfields, Cricklewood.
And was there a gap in between you went? So how many years apart was it that you ended up at different children's homes?
Well, I went to assessment centre first, which was Springfield on Hazelwood Road in Duffield. Then I got transferred to Cricklewood. I had a disagreement there, so I had to go to Moorfields, which was another assessment centre. Then I was put into a preschool, which was Brookside.
And at what age were you then?
What?
For the preschool?
At the preschool?
Yeah.
14, I think. 13, 14.
And that sounds like a lot that you've been through. So how did you cope with that at that time?
You just had to get on with it in them days. You didn't get support, you didn't have nothing.
Coming on to support, how many social workers did you have? Off the top of your head?
3, I think. What I can remember.
And was there any particular social worker out of that you got on with? Was it Wally, you said?
No, he was the worst one out of it.
Oh, okay.
Roger, I think his name was.
And what was it about Roger that you liked?
Well, he helped me in my last stages of care, more than anything. Wally he was just there from day one. I didn't have much to do with him because I was in care, so I think he'd...
But they are meant to be there to support you, which is why
You
obviously...
didn't hear from him in them days.
Okay. So did you have any other support apart from the social workers?
No, you didn't.
Okay. And if you could give a piece of advice to a child who's in care at the moment, what would it be from your experience?
Well, this day and age care is totally different to mine, so I can't answer that one.
What individuals may still feel very isolated, still part of the system. And it's a lot of emotions to cope with for a young person, especially of how young you went with.
I would say there's more support nowadays than there ever has been,
So if you felt you had got the support from when you were younger, what do you think from a mental state it may have helped you with now? Because obviously we won't go into detail, but there is a lot of things that happened to you that potentially you cope with, and I know you cope with now, in drinking and smoking, if that would be fair to say.
sometimes.
So what do you think would have helped you a little bit more then? So if we're looking at support, how do you think that support could have benefited you and helped you grow into understanding your triggers and coping strategies for adulthood?
A bit of support, but I'm going to be honest, I don't think being taken away from your parents at the end of the day, it's what support can you have?
Absolutely. No, I agree. And I think thank you for your input. Like I said, I wasn't going to go into too much detail, but it's reason that I'm fundraising is to make sure that holistic support is there for the child and family, but to try and have a rounded support for the child, especially because it sounds like you didn't get any by the sounds of it.
Well, no, you just got punished. That's all you got.
In what way?
Well, if you stepped out of line, you wasn't taken to one side or anything like that. You was told to, you would either, if you was allowed out in them days, which in the assessment centre you wasn't allowed out, and you was given pocket money a week. You used to stop your pocket money, stuff like that. There was no taking you to one side and talking to you or anything like that. It was just bang.
So there was no love or affection?
No, none whatsoever.
So what do you think out of coming out of care would be, what helped you get through?
What helped me get through? I just started to get on with it myself. And the only person who stopped me from going to prison and everything else was my father-in-law. He turned my life around. Nobody else.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. And that is my dad. And who I am wanting to fundraise for people who have been through very similar situations and have not had the support that's needed. And there's definitely still need for change in the system.